In this narrated presentation, we will explore how Oregon's transformative SEL framework describes the conditions that support learning and thriving for everyone. Why is a focus on educational and social systems important for transformative SEL? Transformative SEL addresses the conditions that allow students to learn and thrive. This approach moves away from focusing on individual deficits and moves towards changing the educational ecosystem to create an environment where everyone can flourish. Oregon's shift toward transformative SEL is illustrated by this spectrum that moves from personal responsibility to participation to transformation. Personal responsibility focuses on developing skills for risk prevention, individual success, and personal well-being. Participation focuses on skills for individual success as well as interpersonal relationship and community building. Transformation emphasizes the creation of democratic, fair, and inclusive communities. We will now share two quotes that help illustrate this shift toward the importance of creating structures and systems of well-being. The first one is focused on students. Christina Torres writes, "Teaching students to meditate will help manage their anger or frustration, but it won't remove a system that mass incarcerates their neighbors and family members. Yoga can help a child feel present in their body, but it won't change the fact that our society places different values on different bodies." Torres is speaking to the fact that traditional SEL approaches have been used to enforce conformity among students from diverse groups, identities, and cultures to the dominant culture's standards and expectations. Transformative SEL, on the other hand, acknowledges the systemic conditions and does not put the onus on individual skill development alone to fix social inequities. Here's a different quote that speaks to the importance of focusing on systemic conditions when it comes to educator well-being. Dr. Dina Simmons says, "Pushing for teacher self-care without also advocating for school systems to value teacher health and well-being puts the onus on educators." When we talk about educator well-being, schools often emphasize self-care practices like yoga and mindfulness, placing the burden of well-being on individuals rather than addressing systemic issues within educational organizations. A transformative SEL approach makes connections between the individual-focused solutions commonly offered and the systems-level factors that significantly contribute to the struggles that individuals and groups face. So what are the conditions for learning and thriving that Oregon has identified in their approach to transformative SEL? They identified these conditions to meet every student's needs: cultivate authentic partnerships, adopt equitable practices, and create thriving learning environments. Transformative SEL can help address various forms of inequity and empower students and adults to co-create thriving schools. Students, families, community organizations, and schools learn together to support the development and maintenance of healthy school communities. Cultivating authentic partnerships prioritizes relational trust, an awareness of power dynamics, shared decision-making, and two-way communication. By adopting equitable policies, transformational change leaders prioritize everyone's safety, belonging, agency, and well-being. This means addressing key policy areas that impact employment practices, creating discipline policies that meet student needs and promote healing, and engaging in collaborative problem-solving. Creating thriving learning environments affirms individuals' personal, cultural, racial, and academic identities. Students and adults can shape learning experiences, cultivate community, and create environments that promote healing and belonging. In these environments, students have opportunities for reflection, input, and feedback about their learning experiences in classrooms and schools. Now, take a minute to pause and reflect on the following questions. Why is a focus on educational and social systems important for transformative SEL? Which of these conditions for learning and thriving do you already engage in? Which do you want to practice? Thank you for watching this narrated presentation on Oregon's transformative SEL framework and conditions for learning and thriving. We hope you feel inspired to foster these practices in your classroom. This video was developed by the Oregon Department of Education to support Oregon's transformative social and emotional learning instructional framework.